A very good morning, afternoon and evening to Scouts joining us from across the world, ladies and gentlemen. Ayubovan and the warmest greetings to you from the Scouting community here in Sri Lanka. We hope you are keeping safe and well despite the rampant pandemic. The founder of Scouting, Lord Baden-Powell, left with us the members of this great movement spanning over 170 countries, having a membership of 50 million Scouts and a rich history of 114 years, a very simple motto: be prepared. Fellow Scouts, it is indeed my greatest privilege to announce to you that the Sri Lanka Scout Association has followed our founder's motto even amidst a pandemic, lockdowns and this trying new normal. Today, the Sri Lanka Scout Association is proud to announce one of the greatest achievements in its long history since the founding of the local movement in 1912. This event being unveiled today is a concept which was thought to be realistically impossible. A jamboree like never before, connecting over 15,000 Scouts from across the world, spanning every time zone, region and continent, giving them an experience of culture and Scouting never imagined before, while also equipping them towards creating a better world. Scouts, ladies and gentlemen, it is my privilege to humbly welcome you today to the launch ceremony of the Global Cultural Jamboree organized by the Sri Lanka Scout Association. The Jamboree, organized under the theme Culturally One Scout World, will take place through a variety of online platforms on the 16th, 17th and 18th of July 2021, and promises to deliver a celebration of culture, Scouting and youth potential like never before. To commence our proceedings today and to address you on this historic occasion, it is my privilege to invite the Chief Commissioner of the Sri Lanka Scout Association, Major General Milinda Piris, who is also the Jamboree Chief of the Global Cultural Jamboree, to welcome you to this launch ceremony of the Jamboree.
Chief guest Mr. Craig Turpie, Chairman of the World Scout Committee. Guest of honor Mrs. Jemima Nate, Vice Chairperson of the World Scout Committee. Sri Lanka Scout Ambassador Mr. Bhatia Jayakodi. All Chief Commissioners, International Commissioners and key leaders of the National Scout organizations. President, Chairman and all members of the Sri Lanka Council of Committee of the Council. Deputy Chief Commissioner and all members of the Sri Lanka Scout Association. All team members of Global Cultural Jamboree. All youth participants and adult leaders. Good evening from Sri Lanka. As the Chief Commissioner of the Scouts in Sri Lanka, I am extremely glad to deliver the welcome address on this very important event of launching the logo and mascot of the Global Cultural Jamboree hosted by Sri Lanka. First, let me very warmly welcome our chief guest, the chairperson of the World Scout Committee, Mr. Craig Turpie, and our guest of honor, the vice chairperson of the World Scout Committee, Mrs. Jemima Nate. It is indeed a great honor to welcome both of you to this event as two important personalities currently leading and guiding the international fraternity of Scouts. Next, I would like to welcome the Scouts Ambassador of Sri Lanka, Mr. Bhathiya Jayakodi, all the fellow Scouts and adult leaders who are joining today's logo launching ceremony representing all 6 regions of the world. Your contribution, participation and wholehearted support will be crucial for the success of the Global Cultural Jamboree we are going to experience from 16th July to 18th July. I also very warmly welcome the young Scouts and unit leaders participating in this event. I believe that you all will be the key for the success of the Global Cultural Jamboree. Your success, your achievement will be our success. Fellow Scouts, the Global Cultural Jamboree that we will be holding this year will be written in history as the first of its kind held on virtual platform. As we all are aware, Jamborees are exciting events that young Scouts and Scout leaders world over would dream to participate in. However, current global pandemic situation prevents us from organizing a physical Jamboree where we enjoy the excitement of meeting fellow Scouts from all over the world and sharing our cultural heritages and cultural identities. Nevertheless, we have initiated the task of conducting this event on the virtual platform, thereby showing our resilience as Scouts. In a way, I believe that this event will be even more exciting as a novel experience for young Scouts, and it gives us the advantage of participation of higher number from different regions and countries. This event will allow young Scouts from all parts of the world to learn about the beauty of cultural differences of their global fraternity. We all belong to one great fraternity, a family and brotherhood as Scouts respecting and representing a common set of values, goals and attitudes. But we also represent different countries and nations that have cultural differences. This diversity is the most beautiful thing in the world. So the Cultural Jamboree that we all look forward to participating in just another 23 days will open up a fascinating experience where the young Scouts will share their cultural values, heritages and experiences with their international brotherhood. So the experience they will gather at this global event will definitely go a long way in their lives. Therefore, at this point, I wish to request other NSOs of the world to follow this experience to enhance cultural linkages among the World Scout fraternity. So while welcoming all for this initial event of logo launching, mascot launching and registration platform launching ceremony, I invite young and adult Scout leaders to register for this most exciting Scouting event of the first ever virtual cultural jamboree, which is going to be a historic event in Scouting. Finally, let me express my gratitude and appreciation to all those who contributed locally and internationally to organize the event. And I also appreciate the great Efforts taken by the Deputy Chief Commissioner Mr. Janaprit Fernando, Assistant Chief Commissioner Mr. Prabhat Kulratna and Dr. Asanti Iriava, Headquarters Commissioner, who together with their team are working hard to bring to you an everlasting Jamboree experience. Thank you.
Thank you, Chief Commissioner. Now, the Global Cultural Jamboree is not only the first ever virtual jamboree organized by the Sri Lanka Scout Association, it is also the first time in Scouting history that a cultural jamboree of this magnitude is taking place. To be held on the 16th, 17th and 18th of July 2021, the Global Cultural Jamboree hopes to bring together a mammoth 15,000 Scouts from around the world through the power of the internet to celebrate Scouting, culture and empowerment of youth to create a better world. Organized under the theme Culturally One Scout World, the Jamboree will feature a variety of fun-filled activities, insightful webinars, much-loved campfires and so much more. To give us a little sneak peek into the Global Cultural Jamboree, here's a small video presentation about it.
I have a dream of what I wanna be. I wanna be free. That's what my heart keeps telling me. Give me your hand.
We'll find a way.
There's people out there
that feel the same.
if we help each other. I just know we can succeed. We are one, but we are different. We from all around the world. We share the same sun, we share the same oceans. We are every boy and girl. Come together and share our dreams. We'll be amongst the stars, and we know that it's destiny. And we are unity. We are unity.
I do believe, oh I believe in destiny. It's up to me to make it into reality.
Give me your hand.
We'll find a way
People out there,
that feel the same.
if we help each other,
I just know we can succeed.
we are one, but we are different. We from all around the world. We share the same sun, we share the same oceans. We are every boy and girl. Come together and share our dreams. We be amongst the stars, and we know that it's destiny. That we are unity.
Wow, that sure does look like loads of fun. A vivid celebration of global cultures. I hope all of you are as excited as me to be a part of this massive gathering of scouts and cultures from around the world. To tell us a bit more about the proceedings of the Jamboree, we humbly invite Mr. Janaprit Fernando, Attorney at Law, Deputy Chief Commissioner of the Sri Lanka Scout Association and member of the World Scout Committee to address you. Mr. Fernando is also acting as an advisor to the Global Cultural Jamboree and has played a significant role in making this event a reality.
Ayubowan, greetings from Sri Lanka. May you live long. Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, brother and sister scouts from Sri Lanka and around the world. Our founder, Lord Baden-Powell said, I quote, "A scout smiles and whistles under all circumstances," unquote. In keeping with the motto of scouting, be prepared, the Sri Lanka Scouts are organizing the first ever Global Cultural Jamboree. Due to the present pandemic, it's on virtual platforms, giving the opportunity for thousands of scouts from around the world to participate in an international jamboree. Friends, today the world has gotten so close due to the many communication channels which are available, and also the fact that our physical meetings have to be restricted. Therefore, the theme of this jamboree, Globally One Scout World, Globally One Scout World, is very appropriate in today's context. The organizers expect over 20,000 participants sharing their cultures by way of songs, dances, traditional food, national dresses, costumes, etc. Not only will the participants have the opportunity to witness these, but will have hands-on experience of how to prepare these items by taking part in demonstrations and webinars. The Jamboree program also focuses on the history and archaeology sites of different countries. This will give the participants an opportunity of learning about other countries in the world. As you know, there are 171 National Scout organizations, members of WUSM, and it is so good for scouts to know about each other. As in all jamborees, there are campfires included in the program. The webinars conducted in collaboration with the United Nations volunteers will provide participants to gear themselves towards the 2030 Sustainable Development Goals agenda. My dear friends, as you know, the World Organization has combined with the United Nations organizations and many other organizations in achieving the 2030 agenda and introduce the Better World Framework. Therefore, this Jamboree will give the opportunity for the Scouts to take part in these webinars and get a better understanding and an education. Renowned poets from around the world will join for a webinar, and you will have a chance to meet each and every one of them and have conversations in 7 different languages. Friends, there will be several talk shows with important personalities, not only from Sri Lanka, but from around the world, where there will be youth members talking to them and then giving the participants the opportunity of a Q&A session or interacting with these personalities. Entertainment in the Jamboree will be held continuously. During the entire duration of the Jamboree, there will be games, quizzes, competitions where scouts can freely join. Not only that, there will be chat platforms where you could meet your fellow scouts from other regions, other countries, share their knowledge, share their experiences, which will definitely give the scouts an opportunity of fellowshipping with your brother and sister scouts from around the world. This can be the beginning for you to start a lifelong friendship with another brother or a sister from another region, from another country. You can exchange your badges, you can exchange stamps, coins, various things once the situation comes back to normal. So I can guarantee you, my dear friends, that the Jamboree will definitely give you an enjoyable time. Today's ceremony for the launching of the Jamboree logo and mascot will give you a glimpse and a taste of what you will experience at this Jamboree. Lord Baden-Powell said, 2 weeks of camp life is equal to 6 months of learning in a classroom. Unquote. All of you who have attended Jamborees or a scout camp, I'm sure will agree on this and will wholeheartedly say that this is the experience we have had. The organizing team, comprising mainly of youth members, are working round the clock to ensure that all aspects of the Jamboree function smoothly. Friends, the Global Cultural Jamboree, organized by Sri Lanka Scouts, is not yet another Jamboree, but an opportunity to enhance your knowledge on many subjects, meet new friends for life, experience singing, dancing, and other activities. As Scouts, we are committed in creating a better world, And the activities at this Jamboree will enable you to work towards this. We have got support and cooperation of the World Organization Scout Movement. As you know, today we have the chairperson of the World Scout Committee, Craig Turpey, joining us, the vice chairperson, Jemima Nate, joining us, and the support of all 6 regions and so many NSOs who have sent their greetings, felicitations, best wishes, and assured their participation at this Jamboree. Your participation in this Jamboree will be a life-changing experience and a memorable one which you will cherish during your lifetime. So let us all gear up to join the Global Cultural Jamboree organized by the Sri Lanka Scouts from 16th to 18th July 2021. Please register for the Global Cultural Jamboree to be held in Sri Lanka virtually from 16th to 18th July 2021. I wish all participants a very happy Jamboree and happy hunting. Thank you.
Thank you, Deputy Chief Commissioner. In order to celebrate the historic event of this magnitude, for Sri Lankan Scouting, a symbol of the Global Cultural Jamboree is more than essential. To launch the official logo of the Global Cultural Jamboree, it is my pleasure to invite a very special guest. A world-renowned musician who has transformed the Sri Lankan music industry and is presently a coach of The Voice Sri Lanka, helping mold aspiring young talent. Having been a President Scout of the 10th Colombo Scout Troop, the foundation of his musical career can be attributed to Scouting. From the dynamic musical duo B&S, here to launch the official logo of the Jamboree, it is none other than Mr. Bhathiya Jayakodi.
Hi boy. Dear Scouts in Sri Lanka and across the world, symbolic to Sri Lanka and all other global cultures, a celebration of unity brings together 15,000 Scouts from across 6 Scout regions across the world. They all come united around the World Scout badge, reminding us the important role played by the Scouts and the young people despite race, nationality, language and color in creating a better world. It is my honor to officially launch the logo of the Global Cultural Jamboree organized by the Sri Lanka Scout Association under the theme Culturally One Scout World on the 16th, 17th and the 18th of July 2021. I hereby present to you the logo of the Global Cultural Jamboree.
And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. the official logo of the Global Cultural Jamboree. Our gratitude to the world-renowned Mr. Bhartiya Jayakodi for joining us today and launching the Jamboree logo. And we look forward to having him return to his youth and join the Jamboree next month. Not only the Jamboree logo, but the Global Cultural Jamboree will also feature a Jamboree mascot to guide us and participate with us during the course of the Jamboree. To introduce our mascot for the Global Cultural Jamboree, I am honored to invite Mrs. Jemima Nate from the Ghanaian capital of Accra to launch the Jamboree mascot. Mrs. Nate is currently the Vice Chair of the World Scout Committee and has been of invaluable support to the Scout movement for many years.
Hi there, Scouts from around the world. Thank you for having me join this milestone event of the Sri Lanka Scout Association, a bird so closely connected with the culture of Sri Lanka. Resplendent in the beauty of its feathers, I'm humbled to introduce the Jamboree mascot for the Global Cultural Jamboree. I also take this opportunity to wish the Sri Lanka Scout Association all the very best. Scouts, meet Piki, your Jamboree mascot.
We are indeed very excited to have been introduced to the Jamboree mascot, Piki, who is looking forward to meeting all of us at the Global Cultural Jamboree next month. Our sincere thanks to Mrs. Jemima Nate, Vice Chair of the World Scout Committee, for graciously accepting our invitation to launch the Jamboree mascot today. We now move on to the address by the Chief Guest for today's launch ceremony of the Global Cultural Jamboree. The Chief Guest today is none other than the Chairman of the World Scout Committee, Mr. Craig Turpie, joining us all the way from the United Kingdom. Mr. Turpie, it is indeed our pleasure to once again be graced by your presence. I humbly invite you to address the Scouts who have joined us.
Chief Commissioner and Deputy Chief Commissioner of the Sri Lanka Scout Association, distinguished guests, dear friends, dear Scouts. On the occasion of this Global Cultural Jamboree, I send to you all warm greetings from the entire World Scout Committee and from your more than 54 million fellow Scouts from all around the world. This Global Cultural Jamboree, being organised by the Sri Lanka Scout Association, anticipates reaching an incredible 20,000 Scouts in total, some 15,000 local Scouts from across Sri Lanka and some 5,000 from around the world. And despite the challenges of the pandemic, it's wonderful to know that Scouts just like you are still connecting virtually and keeping Scouting going. Because as we know, Scouting never stops. The programme for this virtual Global Cultural Jamboree looks so exciting, with great opportunities for patrols of Scouts from across Sri Lanka and around the world to come together virtually and participate and celebrate their cultures, their food, their costumes, archaeology, religious and national festivals, as well as their rich histories. In addition, there will be opportunities to participate in some great talk shows, Scouts for SDGs webinars, online campfires, and cultural shows as well. There really will be something for everyone. So as you look forward to the Global Cultural Jamboree, please allow me to take a moment in advance to thank all Scouts who are participating and to share a short message. Fellow Scouts, our movement has a big ambition, and that big ambition is to develop and grow the Scout movement. This is our vision, to bring Scouting to 100 million young people, to give young people just like you the best possible start in life. And it's about scaling up to tackle the big issues affecting both people and planet. And what an opportunity, because today 46% of the world population is under 24 years of age, the biggest youth generation in history. And this focus on growth, it's not about growth for the sake of growth. It's about equipping more young people like you with the skills and values that Scouting provides. With more Scouts just like you, we can do much more faster. By the way, did you know, somewhere in the world, a young person makes their Scout promise every 17 seconds. It's our scale and reach which makes Scouting a key player in tackling the Sustainable Development Goals. This Global Cultural Jamboree will bring together young people from different backgrounds and help them to understand that they're part of something much, much greater. A movement where we all understand that it is our diversity and our celebration of it that gives us our great sense of unity. Events like this are an important space where both young people and adults from different cultures, different backgrounds, different languages and different ages can come together speaking the common language of Scouting. They can demonstrate through their engagement that they value this incredible diversity, that they can see how it contributes to creating a better world. This movement of more than 54 million people that you are very much part of is very much an agent of change in a world that so desperately needs it. Knowing more about ourselves, knowing more about each other, and appreciating and celebrating our cultural diversity is one of the most important steps in leading change and making a difference. As Baden-Powell once said, look wide, beyond your immediate surroundings and limits, and you see things in their right proportion. Look above the level of things around you and see a higher aim and possibility to your work. So as you get involved with this Global Cultural Jamboree, please be prepared to look wide and look above. Stay safe online during the event and have an absolutely wonderful Global Cultural Jamboree. Thank you.
Our sincere thanks to Mr. Craig Turpey, the Chairman of the World Scout Committee. Fellow Scouts, ladies and gentlemen, perhaps the most eagerly awaited item on this ceremony's agenda is finally here. Scouts from around the world are exuberant on joining the Global Cultural Jamboree, a celebration of culture, scouting, and young people at a scale never seen before. Today, right here, right now, we are thrilled to launch the Jamboree platform, which you can access right now and register your participation for the Global Cultural Jamboree. To ceremoniously inaugurate the online registration platform, I take great honor in inviting the first registrant of the Global Cultural Jamboree, a senior scout of the Colombo district, to register herself for this momentous jamboree. So without further ado, the first registrant of the Global Cultural Jamboree and the launch of the Jamboree registration platform. Please join me in welcoming the first registrant of the Global Cultural Jamboree.
ගෝලීය සංස්කෘතික ජම්බෝරියට ලියාපදිංචි වන ප්‍රථම බාලදක්ෂක බාලිකාව වශයෙන් මම ඉමහත් සතුටට පත් වෙනවා.
Just like that, fellow Scouts, you too can head on to gcj.scout.lk, the official web platform, and register yourself together with over 15,000 Scouts from across the world for the highly anticipated Global Cultural Jamboree. Promising to deliver 3 days of fun, adrenaline-pumping thrill, insightful knowledge, and so much more despite the global pandemic. With much anticipation and excitement now created around this historic event, I cordially invite Mr. Prabhat Kularatna, Assistant Chief Commissioner of the Sri Lanka Scout Association and the Chairman of the Jamboree Steering Committee, to deliver the vote of thanks.
Dear brother and sister Scout, happy to see you all through virtual platform. Ladies and gentlemen, today we have successfully launched our Global Virtual Scout Culture Jamboree. First time in Sri Lanka, you have gathered here for such historical event. I would like to thank all of you for being with us. Let me thank Chief Guest, Guest of Honor, all officials from WASM and region, all commissioners, Scout leaders and Scout officials, brothers and sisters Scouts who have joined today globally. I also thank our sponsor who gave support to make this a reality. Special thanks goes to Sri Lanka Scout Association, Sri Lanka Scout Council and Committee of the Council. Especially I need to thank Chief Commissioner and Jamboree Chief, Major General Melinda Pires. His guidance for leadership highly appreciated. And also our Deputy Chief Commissioner and World Scout Committee member and our Jamboree advisor, Mr. Janafit Fernando. Thank you for your tremendous contribution. I also thank all senior commissioners and national district commissioners, leaders and well-wishers. Especially I thank all members of organizing committee. They really work hard. Also I need to thank all of you for joining today. Thank you. Stuti Nanti.
Thank you, Mr. Kularam. Well, fellow Scouts, that brings us to the end of the launch ceremony of the Global Cultural Jamboree, organized by the Sri Lanka Scout Association, to be held on the 16th, 17th and 18th of July 2021. We hope this ceremony gave you a glimpse of the amazing experience in store for all Scouts at the Jamboree. Well, what more are you waiting for? Head on to gcj.scout.lk now and register yourself for the Global Cultural Jamboree. And I hope to connect with all of you from around the world at the Jamboree, which promises to be a once-in-a-lifetime experience. Till then, take care, stay safe, and happy Scouting.